It's the Line Makers on Sporting News, presented by Jack Daniels. Folks, it is the Jack Daniels Game of the Week. Brian Blessing with Rick Herron and Richie Bachelari. Monster game in the NFC East. Huge game for the Cowboys, trying not to lose touch with the Giants. How about New York, a 1.5-point favorite on the road? Total in the game is up there, 47.5. Ricky, I'll start with you, kid. That's not surprising. Generally, Tom Coughlin is an undercoach at home against NFC East foes. But for whatever reason, when these games are at Texas Stadium or in Jerry's World, they're track meets.
Well, you're right, Brian. They are track meets. They've played 3 times in New Cowboys Stadium, and the least points scored in any one of those games was 64. So, you know, another interesting thing about the game to me is this is a game turned both teams' season around last year. They played in Dallas. Dallas had an 11-point lead, 34-23 with 4 minutes to go. Giants came back and scored twice, beat them 37-24, went on to win the Super Bowl. Cowboys went on to not make the playoffs. Giants beat them again the last week of the year. But in this game last year, Rich, Cowboys were a 4.5-point favorite. Now we're looking at the Giants being the favorite in Cowboys Stadium.
Yeah, and I'm looking at week 1, where the Giants at home with 3.5 against Dallas, they lose. The typical turnaround in a spot like that is Dallas about 2.5. But since that game, the Giants are 5-1 straight up. And the Giants now, with their recent performances, they've turned into the favorite in this spot. About a 4-point adjustment on the number, but rightfully so. They haven't lost in Jerry's new palace. They haven't lost there. Manning in 3 games averaged like 350 yards, like you were talking, contributed to the over, 8 touchdowns. So there's some reasons, and we've mentioned it before, anything less than 3 or 2.5, there's wiggle room for the number, and we're seeing it here in this spot.
How impressed are you, Ricky, with the Giants? Listen, the toughest schedule in the NFL, and they are more than comfortable in their own skin and frankly play better football away from home.
And I was just going to say that too, and more than comfortable on the road. Tom Coughlin's been terrific as the head coach of the Giants on the road. I'm just a little intrigued by the move with a 5.5, 6-point move on what the game was from last year to this year. One thing I know for sure, Cowboys are going to beat them. They better have a lead in the 4th quarter because Eli has 8 fourth-quarter comebacks from last year to this year.
Murray in the backfield in the first game this year lit up the Giants, and it really hurt the Giants week 1. Last week they put about 85 on the board on the ground rushing against Carolina. So without a ground game, Dallas could be in trouble. I'm with Ricky on the move, but I don't know if I'm really with them on Dallas on the side in this spot. They haven't won back-to-back games in their last 11.
Brian, the other thing is if they struggle to run the ball, and Felix Jones is banged up after last week too, then it does become a track meet again. I like the over.
Good stuff. It's the boys, Ricky Herron, Richie Bachelari. I'm Brian Blessing. It's the Line Makers on Sporting News, and this has been and will be the Jack Daniels Game of the Week.